Good evening and welcome to News Tonight on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Tina Jha. Let's begin with the top stories of the day. Parliament passes 3 bills to strengthen arbitration regime in the country. Bills clear way for creation of New Delhi International Arbitration Centre. Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad says this will help clamp down the misuse of money and position in the name of arbitration. Lok Sabha passes finance bill by voice vote. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says budget proposals will promote Make in India and digital payment. Members of several parties participate in the discussion. Karnataka Assembly adjourned till Friday amid din, even as it takes up discussion on confidence motion moved by Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy. BJP leader B.S. Yediyurappa says his party members will stay put in the house overnight till the trust vote is decided. Mediation process in Ayodhya land dispute case to continue after Supreme Court nod. Court asks panel to submit report by the 1st of August. Constitution bench to take call on hearing case further on the 2nd of August. And Rajya Sabha TV adds another feather to its cap, acquires 3 million subscribers on YouTube. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu congratulates Rajya Sabha TV management and employees on the achievement. Rajya Sabha passed 2 bills that provide for changes in arbitration laws. Both New Delhi International Arbitration Centre Bill and Arbitration and Conciliation Amendment Bill were passed by the Upper House on Thursday. The bill seeks to improve institutional arbitration by providing for settlement of commercial disputes within a period of 6 months. It aims to make India a hub of domestic and global arbitration for settling commercial disputes. The New Delhi International Arbitration Centre Bill has already been passed by the Lok Sabha. The Arbitration and Conciliation Amendment Bill 2019 that seeks to make changes in the existing law of 1996 will now go to the Lok Sabha. Several members participated in the debate on the bill.
This whole arbitration ecosystem, as I said, is being sought to be built in the context of a larger narrative to make India a good place for doing business, for investment, and also for dispute redressal. ये समझना बहुत जरूरी है सर.
If you want to become an attractive hub as a country for these dispute resolutions or arbitration, then why not have some kind of a defined time frame? There is no reservoir of professionals, trained professionals in the art of arbitration in India. Now the bill says that they will create an academy, they will try to train people, but as of now there is a dearth. And that's why the choice falls on retired judges.
Make it totally independent. I echo Mr. Sharma's point that definitely they should not have any government officers serving in it, sir. This should be the next step in which we should take it forward, sir. They should be totally independent. Then only the international investors or even the domestic investors will have the confidence, real confidence in the body, sir.
It is essentially a Government of India Arbitration Center. Better to name it not New Delhi Arbitration Center. It is a Government of India Arbitration Center. There should not be any ambiguity thereafter. Totally manned, managed and controlled by the government. Where is the investor-friendly procedural framework? Where is the transparent process for appointment and removal of the members? So if the bill in the present form is passed, the independence and credibility of the institution shall be compromised once and for all.
ये कॉरपोरेट शार्क्स जो होते हैं उनकी मदद करने के इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स बन जाते हैं। वो बिजनेस के सहारे अपने आप को आगे कम बढ़ाती हैं, छोटी कंपनियों को स्वैलो करके उनको निगल करके अपना पूंजी बढ़ाती हैं। और ये अमेलगमेशन का जो सिस्टम चल रहा है इसमें कहीं ना कहीं जो जुडिशियल प्रोसेस है या नेगोशिएशन के आर्बिट्रेशन के जो प्रोसेस हैं वो टूल बन जाते हैं।
Independence of the arbitration council or arbitrator that you would try to pick up, accredited arbitrator for international disputes, wherein winning their confidence, the confidence is important, and that confidence comes when we are able to tell us it is an independent body.
Under the 1996 Act, parties were free to appoint arbitrators. Under this bill, Supreme Court and High Courts may now designate arbitral institutions. For international disputes, Supreme Court has to recommend the arbitrator.
आर्बिट्रेटर पे यदि प्रश्न चिन्ह उठता है, if the integrity of the arbitrator is questioned, that should be tackled on a top priority basis, because if you don't address that, that may lead to further disputes और उसके बाद में सारी प्रक्रिया, सारे time bound, सब कुछ ध्वस्त हो जाते हैं.
Due course of time, when there will be more need for arbitration, as in the initial outset I told that economic activity increases, we will be in need of more centers. Will that be then also called as New Delhi Arbitration Center? That is a big question, sir. Why can't it be called as an Indian Arbitration Center? More than one when it comes.
The government introduced the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Amendment Bill 2019 in Rajya Sabha on Thursday. The bill seeks to amend the existing POCSO law of 2012. It also provides for enhanced punishment for sexual crimes committed against children. According to the bill, those committing penetrative sexual assaults on a child below 16 years of age would be punished with imprisonment up to 20 years. The punishment may extend to life imprisonment as well as a fine. To curb child pornography, the bill provides that those who use a child for pornographic purposes would be punished with imprisonment for up to 5 years as well as a fine. However, in the event of a second or subsequent conviction, the punishment would be up to 7 years with a fine. The bill also empowers the centre to make rules for the manner of deleting or destroying or reporting about pornographic material in any form involving a child to the designated authority.
Srimati Smriti Jubin Irani to move for leave to introduce the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Amendment Bill 2019.
Sir, I rise to move for leave to introduce the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Amendment Bill 2019.
The question is that leave be granted to introduce the bill. Those in favor will please say aye. Aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it.
Sir, I introduce the bill.
India on Thursday asked Pakistan to release and repatriate retired Navy officer Kulbhushan Jadhav immediately and vowed to vociferously undertake the efforts to bring him back to the country. Making a statement in Parliament on the judgment by the International Court of Justice, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar said the verdict of the World Court was not only a vindication for Jadhav, but also for all those who believe in the rule of law. A day after the International Court of Justice ordered Pakistan to review the death penalty to Kulbhushan Jadhav, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar made a suo motu statement in both houses of Parliament. Jaishankar said that Kulbhushan Jadhav was innocent and no coerced measures would change this act.
Sir, the International Court of Justice delivered its judgment on the Jadhav case yesterday, 17 July 2019. Significantly, the court unanimously found that it had jurisdiction on the matter and by a vote of 15-1 pronounced on other key aspects of the case. The sole dissenting judge was from Pakistan. The court pronounced that Pakistan had breached relevant obligations under the Vienna Convention on Consular Relations. It did so by not notifying India without delay of the detention of Sri Jadhav, thereby depriving us of the right to render consular assistance. Pakistan was also found to have deprived India of the right to communicate with Sri Jadhav, have access to him, visit him in detention, and arrange his legal representation. Yesterday's judgment is not only a vindication for India and Sri Jadhav, but for all those who believe in the rule of law and the sanctity of international conventions. The House, I'm sure, joins me in welcoming this landmark judgment. The sentiments I express on this matter are those of the entire House, indeed of the entire nation. Sir, Sri Kulbhushan Yadav is innocent of the charges levelled against him. No forced confession, that too without legal representation and due process, will change this fact. We once again call upon Pakistan to release and repatriate him forthwith.
The minister also said that Kulbhushan Jadhav's family has shown exemplary courage.
I am confident that the House will join me in expressing its strongest solidarity with Sri Jadhav's family. They have shown exemplary courage in difficult circumstances. I can assure that the government will vigorously continue its efforts to ensure Sri Jadhav's safety and well-being, as well as his early return.
Chairman Naidu hailed the decision of the International Court of Justice and commended the legal services rendered by Counsel Harish Salve.
I am very happy that the entire House have joined together in welcoming the judgment of the International Court of Justice, and people who are all concerned, they have been really complimented, and I am happy that the ministers particularly mentioned about the services rendered by Sri Harish Salve, the two without any charge, just appearing on a nominal this thing to serve the cause of the countrymen. We are all very happy about it, and I hope we will pursue till Sri Kulbhushan is totally discharged and released.
In a major victory for India, the International Court of Justice on Wednesday ruled that Pakistan must review the death sentence handed down to Jadhav. A retired Indian Navy officer, Jadhav was sentenced to death by a military court in Pakistan on charges of espionage and terrorism after a closed trial in April 2017. The bench of the International Court of Justice also ruled by 15 votes to 1 that Pakistan had violated India's rights to consular visits after Jadhav's arrest. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV. And India has also asked Pakistan to implement the verdict of the International Court of Justice on Jadhav immediately. The Ministry of External Affairs has asked Islamabad to immediately grant consular access to Kulbhushan Jadhav, asserting that the ruling in the case by the World Court is a complete vindication of its stand. External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Ravish Kumar said the International Court of Justice clearly mentioned that the judgment is final, binding and without appeal. He also said that Pakistan is obliged to act on the directive of the ICJ as it is the principal judicial organ of the United Nations and the verdict is binding on Islamabad.
Frankly, it seems to me that they are reading from a completely different verdict. The main verdict is in 42 pages. If there is no patience to go through the 42 pages, I think they should go through the 7-page press release, where each and every point has been ruled in favor of India. I don't think there is any confusion on that account. I think they have their own compulsions as to why they have to lie to their own people.
And talking about the proceedings in the lower house of parliament, the Lok Sabha passed the Finance Bill 2019 that gives effect to the proposals of the central government for the year 2019-20. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman pointed out that the said amendments will promote Make in India and startups. She said the amendments will bring clarity in Central Road and Infrastructure Fund and also reduce corporate tax from 30 to 25% for companies with a turnover of up to 400 crore rupees. She also said the tax proposals in the Finance Bill 2019 are aimed at improving the ease of living conditions and also reducing pain of the citizens.
If we have already set ourselves a 10-year vision, we are also setting ourselves a 5-year target, all of which was explained during the budget. this finance bill, through the finance bill, essentially through the various taxation proposals that we are bringing before you, we are underlining the fact that Make in India needs to be given greater push. And that is why when you look at the direct tax amendments, as I mentioned in the morning, are looking at 7 acts, all of which are getting amended in some way or the other, relate to the reduction in corporate tax rate, where in order to reduce the effective tax on corporates,
India has termed Pakistan's arrest of Mumbai terror attacks mastermind Hafiz Saeed a drama. MEA spokesperson Ravish Kumar said that Pakistan's drama of arresting the Jamaat-ud-Dawa chief has been on since 2001. He said Pakistan has arrested Hafiz Saeed more than 8 times but released him on some ground or the other. The MEA also asked if Hafiz Saeed's arrest on Wednesday would be more than a cosmetic exercise this time around. Ravish Kumar, in fact, expressed hope that Hafiz Saeed will be brought to justice this time.
This drama, to my count, I think it has been more than 8 times since 2001. We have seen this drill. The question is whether this time this will be more than a cosmetic exercise, whether Hafiz Saeed will be tried and sentenced for his terrorist activity.
And time for a short break, but news and updates will continue on the other side. Do stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching News Tonight. The Karnataka Assembly was adjourned till Friday morning amid acrimony during the debate on the motion of confidence moved by Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy to decide the fate of his 14-month-old government. The House was adjourned by Deputy Speaker Krishna Reddy as the Congress members persistently shouted slogans against the BJP. Before the House was adjourned, BJP leader B.S. Yedurappa declared that his party members would stay put in the House itself overnight and even till the time the trust vote was decided. He said the confidence motion was not even discussed properly for 15 minutes and other issues were brought in by the ruling coalition members to delay the trust vote. The Gujarat Congress suffered a major blow as 2 of its former legislators, Alpesh Thakur and Dhaval Singh Zala, joined the BJP on Thursday. Both Thakur and Zala had resigned as MLAs on the 5th of July, apparently after voting against Congress candidates in the Rajya Sabha by-polls. After joining the BJP, Alpesh Thakur described it as a party of disciplined workers and said it was difficult for him to work for his community when he was in the Congress party.
एक ऐसे व्यक्तित्व पे, एक ऐसी विचारधारा पे, एक ऐसे नेताओं पे भरोसा करके जिसका लोहा पूरे देश और दुनिया ने माना है, जहां पे गरीबों के अधिकार की बात है, एक ऐसे राष्ट्र के निर्माण की बात है जो आने वाली पीढ़ियों को एक सुरक्षित राष्ट्र मिले, विकसित राष्ट्र मिले और जिस तरह का नेतृत्व है जो आने वाले कई सालों तक आने वाली पीढ़ियां भी याद रखेगी.
Large parts of the country continue to battle flood fury. Assam, Tripura, parts of Meghalaya, Bihar as well as Uttar Pradesh remain inundated. There's been no let-up in the flood situation in Assam and Bihar particularly, with the deluge claiming more than 90 lives in both states. According to the Assam State Disaster Management Authority, the death toll in the state rose to 36. The floodwaters have receded from Hailakandi district, but still more than 57 lakh people remain affected. The Brahmaputra River is still flowing above the danger level in several districts. The NDRF and SDRF teams are working round the clock to evacuate those marooned. Meghalaya and Mizoram also are grappling with floods. Over 5,000 people are lodged in relief camps and more than 4,000 people have been evacuated. Meanwhile, the death toll from flood shot up to 78 in Bihar, with 11 more casualties reported during the last 24 hours. Altogether, 18 people have died in Sitamarhi district alone on the Indo-Nepal border. The state is grappling with flash floods caused by torrential rain in Nepal over the last few days. According to official figures, 46 lakh people of 12 districts have been affected. Chandrayaan-2 will now be launched next week on Monday. Making the announcement, ISRO said that the rescheduled launch will now take place at 2:43 p.m. The launch was aborted earlier this week following a technical snag in its most powerful rocket, the GSLV Mark III. Well, Rajya Sabha TV has achieved yet another milestone. 3 million people have given thumbs up to Rajya Sabha TV, with 1 million subscribers added in just the past 5.5 months. This means over 6,000 viewers are subscribing to the channel every day. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has congratulated Rajya Sabha TV. In a Twitter message, he complimented the management, editorial as well as technical teams of Rajya Sabha TV for the achievement. And that's it from us in this bulletin. Thank you very much for your time.